Imagine booting up Fortnite and seeing this for $20. What about a UEFN map charging 5,000 V-Bucks to wipe out the entire lobby?
What? They finessing!
Today, I'm investigating the greediest things in Fortnite, and you won't believe how insane this gets. It's all because Epic dropped an update this week, letting you now spend real money on maps. The days of no pay to win in Fortnite are gone forever, because you can now be charged 1,000 V-Bucks just to gamble. It's happening everywhere right now, but the biggest one is Steal the Brain Rot that released an entire item shop full of pay to win loot boxes. The most expensive one will cost you $40 for just 2 random brain rots, and it probably could have been even more than that. And that's because Epic has 5,000 V-Bucks as the maximum limit. If you think about it, $30 back in the day would get you Save the World and early access to Battle Royale. And now, it won't even cover the cost of 2 brain rots.
That's
crazy,
spending
$20
bro. Let me just say this. If you're spending $40 on brain rot content inside of Fortnite, or just brain rot content in general, you deserve to be scammed. You deserve to spend that 40 on something so worthless.
Every time you want to open a loot box is gambling, but it's still not as obvious as the actual slot machine in the same game. And the reason we call this actual gambling is because people are making real money from it. Don't ever do this, but there are already websites where fans are selling brain rots to other players for money. This means there are now kids out there spending 20 bucks at a time to try and get the rarest lucky block pulls and then selling them on the black market for a profit. How insane is that? This has caused Fortnite to start cracking down on it before it gets out of hand, banning prize wheels from maps. Sometimes Fortnite's greediest things are from Epic themselves. Like they just announced that a VTuber is coming to the game, and if you want the collab early, you can play the Kazuna AI tournament. People saw that you could get rewards for placing in the top 900, hopped into their first few matches, and then Epic changed the rules in the middle of the tournament.
What?
You now had to place in the top 300 to get the prizes.
Man, no, man. Epic be scamming. Epic stay on that BS, man. Why would you change it up when I already had in my mind that that was going to be the requirement? Man, Epic, I wish you would.
Goalpost, but to do it mid-match, it just feels wrong. So to really show off just how crazy the last update was, some creators have gone out of their way to make the most ridiculous pay-to-win features. Laserbeam announced he was spending 1 million V-Bucks and asked for ways to blow all of his money. So one creator decided to add a 5,000 V-Buck purchase that kicks everyone from the game. At the low price of just $40, you can make sure nobody else gets to play in your lobby. It's a pretty hilarious joke, and even though it's meant to show how insane these pay-to-win features could get, it's still a real thing in a map. And what's insane is that 45 players have already bought it. This creator got $1,000.
Hey, yo, if you're part of the 45 players that have spent money just to delete everybody from your game, you should delete yourself from everything.
In a single day because of it. And Epic probably made a ton of money from the last Winterfest because it was the greediest one to date. For the first time ever, after 6 years of giving us tons of gifts, they decided that we didn't deserve them anymore. Now, we had to work for them by logging in every single day over the course of an entire month. And if you missed only a couple of days, you'd be locked out of the free outfit telling you it was sent back to Lieutenant Winner. There was no reason for Epic to change tradition unless they were trying to get as many players as possible over the holidays. And it just ruins the whole point of giving gifts just for extra cash. So I'm showing you how the new microtransactions have made everything pay to win. But what I also discovered is how it gets much worse than that. You're totally allowed to sell one-time guns, even though a lot of maps are honest and let you keep the guns you buy. The ones who aren't are kind of greedy. When it comes to maps like Tilted Zone Wars that sell power-ups, obviously these have to be one-time only, or it would break the game. But even then, microtransactions like this are still insanely pay to win, especially because Zone Wars are meant to be mini BRs where you work on your skill. Now, instead of practicing, you're just fighting against mom's credit card that floods the map, or even paying to destroy Tilted.
Tactical nuke incoming!
What?
It's also supposed to be about getting better at the game. The whole point of a 1v1 is to have a fair fight, get rid of all of the RNG, and just battle each other to showcase your skill.
No,
so that's why it's pretty hilarious that some modes let you spend 750 V-Bucks to skip through all the levels and get special weapons instantly. It just means 1v1 maps are gonna be full of pay-to-win noobs destroying actually good players who are trying to get better. Okay, but what about the Fortnite modes who are struggling? So they add pay-to-win features to make money. Well, it turns out that's about to become an even bigger problem because the Fortnite menu itself just became pay pay to win.
What?
The
main menu
are about to get even bigger because of the sponsor tab. Yeah, there have been ads in Fortnite for a couple months now, with some of the lowest quality maps getting tons of players. Someone could spend months working on their first ever mode, and nobody would see it because other people just threw cash at the problem instead. Epic is obviously profiting from all of these changes, but the most they've been called out for it was when they added sidekicks. It's funny that people kind of stopped talking about this, even though it's still going on, with extremely high prices only for you to be locked into a single design.
Insane.
The collab sidekicks are almost always more expensive than original ones, and yet they're barely customizable at all, while the original ones are custom, but you have to pay another $20 just to change their color.
Like, bro, you think I'm about to spend $20 extra on the sidekick that I already paid $20 for just to change the color in the name? Man, Epic, y'all got me fucked, cuz.
Epic were hoping the backlash to this would die down over time, and it kinda has. I don't know if that means the community gave up or just stopped caring, but either way, it still remains one of the craziest cosmetics in the whole item shop.
How are you holding up, Administrator?
Unless you're a Warner Bros. Fan. Compared to all the other collabs, these things are so expensive that it makes you want to pass out. Clearly, Warner Bros. Think their characters are worth more than anyone else, because for skins like the Adventure Time bundle, if you want every single item because you're a diehard fan, costs 8,700 V-Bucks. Then we got Wave 2, and this means for all of the items together, you're looking at 14,700 V-Bucks.
Oh, 14,700 V-Bucks for that? What? Epic, y'all gotta be insane, bro, because I and my people, we're not paying that.
$100. Why is it this expensive?
Holy.
It's because of how the bundles work. For both Adventure Time and Scooby-Doo, they decided to put the most exciting characters in different bundles, which means you're forced to buy them separately, which ends up costing a whole lot more money. Like for Scooby-Doo, these two bundles are separated, so if you wanted the actual Mystery Inc. gang, it was 9,800 V-Bucks or around $80. Here is what nobody expected. There are now a ton of Fortnite maps that have their own currency instead of V-Bucks.
Bro, this is
crazy. You pay them real cash, then convert it into something like gems to then spend that on items. It's one of the most classic gotcha systems ever, and it makes it feel like you're not spending real money because it's just gems, right?
This can't be real.
Calling this out for being a feature Epic should ban, joking that nobody would be dumb enough to do this. It makes getting refunds harder than ever, not to mention it locks you into playing that map because you can't even spend the currency anywhere else. At least with V-Bucks, you have the choice to spend them in any mode. Like maybe you want to go give money to the Imposter map. This is a remake of the classic official mode, and because Fortnite deleted it, fans went out and just created their own. Clearly with the new update, they wanted to add microtransactions to this, but it's pretty hard to come up with things to sell. So instead of cosmetics, they released boosts. Boosts! To give yourself a higher chance for the role you want, and honestly, it's one of the craziest ones in the video because it's only a higher chance rather than guaranteed. Bro. And at the same time, it also means that if you want to play the Imposters mode in 2026, you gotta play a version that has microtransactions, even though the original was totally free. Sometimes Epic also ruin their own modes, like how they've just made rank terrible with a single change. In the past, you could earn reward styles based on how high your level is. It's a basic system that's in hundreds of games, right? Well, now if you want the exclusive cosmetics, you need to reach max level in every single mode.
What?
To be the best at zero build or something, you also need to be good at everything just for some cosmetics.
What?
To Fortnite though, because not everything they do is to make money. They've always donated the profits to all kinds of causes, giving back to developers and more, but they've also fixed parts of Fortnite that used to be greedy. Like, did you know that the game went 4 years without the ability to cancel your item shop purchase? Wow. People had spent so long accidentally buying an item or getting confused over bundles and then just wasting their V-Bucks. Then they try and get their money back with a refund ticket, but of course you only get a certain number of those. And so it wasn't until 2022 that they finally gave us the chance to instantly undo a purchase, and it's still saving people to this day.
Thank God, Epic! That is the best thing y'all have ever done, giving us, the people, a chance to cancel purchases in the item shop that we didn't even mean to make. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know why that wasn't a feature to start with, bro. Y'all need Epic. Stop being so money hungry and fix your game. Holy, thank you.
deny that Epic has been scraping to take every last drop of our V-Bucks. Ever since
Facts.
they allowed us to buy the exact amount we needed for skins, nobody's really buying huge V-Buck bundles anymore. So to make up for it, Epic decided to change the price of the Battle Pass for the first time ever from $950 to $1,000. They really wanted to squeeze those last 50 out of us, and this happened at the start of a brand new chapter.
Money hungry
$950
mother
was
truckers.
a cool price because it meant you could keep those extra 50 V-Bucks every season, and then combine them with the currency in the Battle Pass to save up for skins. I know a ton of people who have complained about this, but at the same time, you could just subscribe to the Fortnite crew, get every single Battle Pass for free, and have 1,000 V-Bucks given to you every month.
That's the
so
best
it
thing
is
to
kind
do.
of hard to call that one greedy, especially if you already have Fortnite crew because of Xbox Game Pass. Now look, the fact that they tried to do everyone a favor by merging these two was pretty cool. Those of us who were already subscribed to both were now saving money, or so we thought. On the
I will say this, whoever has Xbox, that's the only W y'all have. Anything besides that Xbox is shit, and I'm sticking with that.
very same day Fortnite was
Kill me
added,
for
they
it.
hiked
Shoot
the
me
price
for
of Game
it.
Pass by so much that it basically ruined it for everyone. $16 a month to $30. And people were so angry about it, the website to cancel Game Pass crashed. While most of the backlash was aimed at Microsoft, a ton of people also blamed Epic for this because if Fortnite crew wasn't added, this may have never happened. And something that doesn't sit right with me is they tried to act like it was such a
She
great
low-key
deal,
bad,
but before
though.
the change,
She's a
having
baddie.
Xbox Game Pass and Fortnite
baddie.
crew was cheaper separate than combined.
Wow.
Fortnite needs to make a lot of changes to make this new microtransaction
For
and
real.
UEFN update actually work. Because right now, it just feels a bit greedy. But Tommy, keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.
Yes, Dicey! Thank you everyone for tuning in to today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed. And y'all know what we're about to say. Y'all know what we're about to do. As always, until next time, peace.